Friday night, and the feeling was right for some high-caliber 4A action in Eudora as the Cardinals took on the Stags of Bishop Miege. Once again, in the narrative of seeing a double-digit seeded Miege team run rampant in November, as they have taken no prisoners, defeating Eudora 52-21 and have their eyes set on the game that they want to get back to.
I told them our goal is to play the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and we're not there yet. So they know they got one more game to get there. You know, it's an opponent we're familiar with. We played them last year down at the same place, so we know the trip. It's a 3-hour trip. We know what we're going to do. We know where we're stopping. We know where we're eating and all that stuff. And because that's big to make sure these kids know the routine, and especially this time of year, because you want to enjoy it because you never know if it's going to be the last one or not.
It is strictly business for Coach Holmes and his crew as they would put their foot on the gas in the second half and never let up. These two teams are familiar and have met in the same scenario a few times already. Each time has seen the Stags come out on top. The last time they faced off was 3 years ago on a cold, windy, and rainy November night that forced both teams to establish the run and stick to it. Last Friday was anything but. With a light breeze and warm weather, Miege got to play to exactly their preference and air the ball out. Stags' quarterback, Landon Cole, had 6 passing touchdowns on the night, including a crafty little backdoor screen to running back Vinnie George that would put Bishop Miege up 21-7 at the half. The field position that started that drive was compliments of the stout defense of the Stags, who held Eudora to a 3-and-out and forced the Cards to punt into the wind, and with a bad bounce put Miege at the 25-yard line, where it would only take one play for them to score. After the half, as the wind died off, it also seemed to take the wind out of the sails of Eudora, and saw the Stags' defense continue to dig in. They forced a fumble in the first quarter, as well as a couple of turnovers on downs, and they would stand firm again in Eudora's opening drive of the third, turning it over on downs. That defensive stand would give them the opportunity to start warming up the buses, as it only took a few plays before they found the end zone again on a 45-yard strike, making it 28-7. Eudora would find a spark of hope late in the third with a punt return touchdown to cut it down to 2 scores, but off the rip in the fourth, Miege puts another 7 on the board. On the Cardinals' ensuing possession, they lose another fumble, and this wouldn't be the last turnover of the night. Miege would score again from this one, as well as their final score that was a 60-yard pick six by senior defensive back Pierce Butler. The turnovers were the nail in the coffin for the Cardinals' season, as the final score doesn't do any justice to what this team went through to get to this point. The emotional postgame from the team told all the story about how hard they worked to get here and what it meant for them both to reflect on and what to look forward to for next season.
What set this group apart is this senior class didn't care about who touched the football. They didn't care about the play calls. They just wanted to win. Our kid, they were special because they trusted the process. And those are guys that have been with me for 4 years as the head coach, and I'm just proud of all of them. They've done everything we've asked. You're never going to replace those guys up front. Those guys are really good football players and really strong in the weight room. But we have to, we have to look at the bigger picture. A lot of our production in terms of touchdowns and receptions and rushing was from younger guys, and so that's exciting. But we have to replace those guys up front, and so we have to have guys step up. And we're going to have those guys. They're going to step up and carry this thing forward.
Eudora may be rebuilding, but Miege is just a gathering storm as they prepare for their next road trip into Substate to take on the Labette County Grizzlies to find a bid to the state championship. But I'll let Jameson segue us into the playoffs, so let's send it back to the desk.